Josh, you have that rare distinction of actually being our most viewed guest ever. It pains me to say that I think the episode where you came on and talked about RRR and all things Indian cinema is still our second most watched episode ever after our review of RRR.
I'm not sure that those views were for me, but I'll take credit for it nonetheless.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great to be back.
So, Josh, for those of our viewers who didn't see that episode, perhaps, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? Who are you? Where do you come from? Why are you here? What are you doing?
I am a film critic living in Dallas, Texas. I was previously on the show to talk about Triple R as a very enthusiastic fan of Indian cinema. And at that point, I was also working in the distribution team for Triple R in the United States. I also have, like I said, I've been a critic writing for Screen Anarchy alongside James for a long time. I've also dabbled in film programming, as James has. I'm currently working with Beyond Fest in Los Angeles. That's basically it.
Have you
Yeah,
seen that new Netflix documentary about Rajmouli, and is it worth watching?
it is. It's interesting. It goes a lot of places that I kind of was expecting. They talk a lot about his family and how they figure into his work, which I've gotten to know a lot of them over the last couple of
Mm.
years. You can see me in there for like a tenth of a
Oh,
second
really?
in
Okay. I
in one of
wasn't
the.
I wasn't
You know,
teeing you up for that, but okay, yeah.
no, no, no. I don't speak. I don't speak. It's just
Oh, good.
it
Okay.
was it was some cell phone footage. Yeah. Oh, good. Thanks. No, it was just some cell phone footage that Rajamouli's son had shot at one of our screenings, and it's myself and Evram Ersoy, who you know as well, at Beyond Fest
Oh,
a couple of
okay,
years
okay.
ago.
He's got a
Um,
future guest on this show, actually. Yeah.
he's a wonderful man,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you'll have fun.
But the other question I'm going to ask is, we haven't done an Indian film in a while, and is there any on the radar coming up that you would highly recommend that we jump on?
Oh, I mean, there are always quite a few on the way, so I tend to get sort of pigeonholed into the ones that I'm actively trying to help.
That big sci-fi thing, Kalki
Hmm.
2898 AD, just dropped
Yes.
on Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime has a lot of stuff. That's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It's a little bit clunky and overlong, but I mean, they're Indian movies. You kind of can't avoid that most of the
Mm.
time.
Is there a reason
But
why
yeah,
Indian movies, by and large, tend to be so long?
it's a holdover from the 50s, 60s, and 70s where movies were more accessible and cheaper, and they were full, day long family outings, and the whole family would go out and see. And so that's where the whole masala idea came from, is that you can take your wife and your kid and everyone, and there's something for all of them in there. And so it kind
Hmm.
of necessitates, if you're going to have it be an action and a comedy and a romance and a drama and all these other things, it takes a while to get all that stuff in.
Hmm.
And then also making it sort of worth the money was
No.
making those films 3 hours long. Now, the 3 hour thing is becoming uh, a thing of the past now. More films are sort of they're still north of 2 hours for the most part,
Hmm.
but they're closer to like 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 20
Okay.
minutes. But these big epic ones like Kalki are closer to three.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
putting you on the spot very quickly, is there anything that's out there and it's easy to find probably or will be soon from this year that you'd say, okay, have a look at that, have a look at that.
Maharaja was fun, actually. That's on Netflix, and that one actually stars Anurag Kashyap. He's not directing it.
He's in it?
Yeah, he acts a lot in Tamil films. He doesn't act in Hindi films. He actually, well, no, he made a Hindi web series or online streaming series this year. He's shooting something right now. I keep trying to get a hold of him, but he's busy. Yeah, Maharaj is good. Two
Too
decapitations in that movie too. So
fabulous.
Oh, James
that
will love it.
always,
If they
yeah.
start eating each other too, that's when James really says, we got to see this
I
one.
made you watch one cannibal movie.
The Goat Life though is also on Netflix. It's an adaptation of a very famous Malayalam book about a guy who goes to Dubai for work and ends up
Oh
getting
yeah.
like kidnapped and held as as slave labor in the desert.
Oh, that sounds good.
Um,
Is that on
and
Amazon, or do we have to get it somewhere
it's
else?
on Netflix.
It's on
Oh,
Netflix.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Okay, I'll bookmark
Adu
those two.
Jeevatam. Yeah, so those two are good, and they had some good reactions, and people were very excited about them.
All right. Well, we might check out one or both of those in the near future then. So you'd recommend? It sounds like you recommend The Goat Life over the other one. If we were
The
going to do
Goat
one.
Life is a legitimately good movie. It's a bummer, but it's a good movie.
Josh, how do any of our listeners get a hold of you or find you online?
I'm probably most active and available on Twitter at Hateful Josh. I'm a little more locked down on other social media platforms, but there you can always get to me, or you can find me, my distribution company, Potentate Films, at Potentate Films on Twitter or on Instagram. I'm currently doing some retrospective screenings of older Rajamouli films across North America and other places, sometimes as well, sometime.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us again.
Very
And
much. Yeah.
we really appreciated having you, and we'll have to do it again sometime.
You ought to be in pictures, oh, what a hit you would be.